What up, peeps? Welcome to the Kisscapades podcast. I'm your host, John Telewa, aka the Kissbandit. And in this show, we explore the key elements that shape our fulfilling existence, from health and well-being to financial success, meaningful relationships, and the pursuit of happiness. We cover it all. Our guests include experts, professionals, and everyday individuals who have remarkable stories to tell. Tune in to learn practical tips, gain valuable insights, and discover strategies for personal growth and transformation. Whether you're seeking to improve your health, build your wealth, enhance relationships, or find lasting happiness, we got you covered. Welcome to today's episode. Another amazing episode with a very special guest. Thank you for coming to the show.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me.
I know it was last minute, of course, but we made it happen actually.
We did. And yeah, it's a long time coming, but I'm happy to be here, happy to record this episode with you.
What made you want to come to the podcast, by the way, before we go to your introduction?
Because you're a big deal. I mean, I saw you
What?
on TikTok. I think we became mutuals on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because of, both our content creation journeys there.
Yeah.
And then I just started watching your podcasts. And I was like, okay, so this guy is actually a bigger deal than I thought.
We're trying. It's not just the apartment transformation.
I know. Actually, I followed you from the apartment transformation, and I loved it. I loved it so much. And yeah, who knew he's multifaceted?
Hey, here we are. So tell the people who you are, by the way, so that we can just start this off.
Oh, perfect. So for those who don't know me or who've seen me on socials, my name is Barbs, the budgeting coach. And I started my personal finance page, I think, in 2020 or 2021. It's been 2 years now. And yeah, my main focus or my niche is on budgeting. And then I started, of course, diversifying a bit and talking about personal finance.
Yeah.
And yeah, my day job, I'm a chemical engineer. For those who follow me, they know that. Yeah. I'm a
Chemical engineer?
I am an engineer.
Right, chemical engineer.
And chemical at that, yes. I was really good in chemistry when I was in high school, and I realized, I'm actually quite talented and skilled in chemistry. So that's how
interesting.
I pivoted and joined chemical engineering in my undergraduates. Yeah.
Hey, listen, just because of that, we have to just give you props for that. So now,
yes.
And how did you end up having a super interest in just finance and let's just say budgeting coach thing? Because I would expect now content to be for, chemical engineering. I won't be watching that, but...
Maybe that's why.
How did you pivot into just finance and your interest in budgeting and everything?
Oh, yeah. So that's a good question. So I did my MBA, I think I finished it 3 years ago. And during my MBA, of course, you do accounting and finance. And I was really, really good at accounting and finance. Of course, I'm definitely good in math because of engineering. But then, I realized I actually have quite a good passion for finance. Then, as well as an individual, I was really good in my finances. So I, of course, merged the two. And I was like, okay, maybe I could share this information with people and educate them. And when I started it, I just started it as a whim. And it picked up so quickly. My page grew tremendously. I started, of course, with TikTok. The growth scale is much lower than Instagram. It's much faster to grow on TikTok. And it picked up and the rest has just been history.
And how, just even in general, have you seen, maybe the interest? What's the major interest in people, when they come to you, about, budgets? Is it because of their salary or once they've been paid, how they should spend the money? What's the main question that a lot of people normally come and ask you, in your DM, before we go to, proper breakdowns and everything?
Actually, that's a good question. So Kenyans usually come to me to break their incomes for them. So the funny thing is they assume that I can just, you come to Barbs and be like, okay, I earn 20K, break it down for me.
Yeah.
And it's not just, initially I used to do them like that, figuratively and just trying to figure out how to budget the numbers. But then with time, I also realized people's situation is very different. So you can't really, force somebody in a box when in their situation, they cannot like live within that budget that you have given them. So that's when I started collecting data from people, of course, voluntarily.
Yeah.
And they share with me how much they earn and how much they spend. And then I break down whatever your numbers are as per your situation. And then, of course, with my input, I make adjustments here and there, whether you need to add or reduce something or reallocate something, of course. And definitely creating, a bucket for investing and savings, which is definitely something Kenyans struggle with.
Yeah, because honestly speaking, what I realized, like, after a while, I can't say I was good with like just finances. I just didn't have finances. Let me just I had something, but it wasn't like something substantial where I can say I've put this on investment on the side. This is something that I can just have for emergency, and something else like, things like insurance. Those are not things that were ever like in my mind. But also for somebody who is on a very tight budget. Or even, in fact, before we go to that question, before I break down that question, how I like doing breakdowns,
Yes.
What's the importance of just budgeting in general to an adult? Because children, it's okay by the just, children can be children. Do what, and that's why we can all say they're children.
True.
But for an adult, how important is budgeting?
That's very crucial. I mean, budgeting is something we do not even learn in our education system as Kenyans. I think that's something I've seen very common as well in other countries where people are saying, I think personal finance should be taught in school so that as you're growing up, you understand the value of a dollar, you understand the value of a shilling, and understand why it's important to know, okay, now that you've been given this salary, what to do with it.
Yeah.
And most of us, like you said, and I think myself included, when I got my first salary, it was just like, okay, now I make money for myself. What do I do? Then you just, try to move out, try to budget your food, try to budget your, enjoyment. All this stuff, as a young person, you don't really prioritize your future. You're just thinking spend, spend, spend. So budgeting is definitely something you need to understand as a concept to be able to know your cash flow situation. It's basically how companies manage their cash flow. So you know how much you earn, where your money needs to go, and anything that remains, you know where to invest or save for your future.
Yeah, and I'm always like, even just like I was telling you just behind the scenes, like I know and have friends who normally say like, once I get money, if I have like 10 G's or even like 1,000 bob, they're always like, once I touch it, I actually don't know where my money goes. And to me, it always shocks me because I'm like, I don't even think you qualify to be an adult if you can speak like that. But also, the thing is, like, you come to realize, like, this is like a lot of people who actually just don't budget. Money comes in, they just spend it like
that
crazy.
Is true.
So before we also do the breakdown, where do you think people waste money the most in general? Like, we can say Kenyans, because you've done like a couple of breakdowns. Like, where do you think people, because we're talking about adults, where do you really think they waste a lot of their money when it comes to budgeting?
Oh, that's a good question. So from what I have seen, these are, of course,
from the data you've collected.
Yeah, from the data I've collected. And please, the data people don't come for me.
Yeah.
But from the information I've gathered, I think it really varies on the group, like whether you're low income, mid, and high. So like you said initially, I think when you don't earn a lot of money, you're basically just surviving.
Yeah.
So basically your cash flow in is cash flow out. So whatever you earn is basically just enough to help you survive. So there in that bracket, the wastage that really happens is very minimal because there's no room for wastage. Then we go to the middle class, which is majority of the Kenyans who are now coming up. Yeah. The middle class are a lot of people who are low income earners, and now they're getting kuomoka, what people say.
Yeah.
You now start getting the fans, and now you're like, okay, now I can afford this, I can afford that. I think the one mistake I see people doing is lifestyle creep. Like, you just inflate your lifestyle instantaneously. And for me, I would recommend progressively, if it's moving house, you don't jump from 10K to 50, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You jump from maybe 10 to 25 to 30 to 50, depending on how, of course, the income has come in. And lifestyle creep is something that even I suffered from it. Like when I got like my first big boost, I was just like, I want to live in a nice house. I want to get a nice car. I want to live well, da, 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 da. And I mean, as responsible.
You did that as well?
I did. I mean, everybody makes those financial mistakes at the beginning.
And how did that go? Before you go back to how Kenyans, waste money.
So eventually, of course, when I went to the more expensive house, you realize, it doesn't make any sense. And you just naturally downgrade again, back to a much more reasonable house.
Yeah.
And luckily, at least I didn't have to, do it for a very long time. Reality kicked in much.
Reality check, yeah.
Reality kicked in very soon. And I moved back to like a more reasonable, decent house, maybe.
How crazy was the rent?
Months. It was not that. It was crazy for my income. Let me say that. It was too high for what I was earning, and it wasn't making any sense.
So we don't talk numbers here. We don't have to.
No, I would say maybe, I don't know. I was netting maybe 80.
Yeah.
And my rent at that time was 28, and for me that was too high. Or was it even lower? It could have been.
Oh wait, is that high or is that low? Now, I mean, you
the
need
rent
to explain
for
to
me
us.
at that time was high because I'm paying 28,000.
Because net is take home, right?
Yes.
After taxes and everything.
Yes. So actually no, it was lower. I think the net was like 66. I think 80 was
the gross, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think it was like 66. So you minus 28, you just remain with 40 something. Yeah. I mean, it's barely anything to survive on. So that's what I mean. It's about how much you remain what they call disposable income, what you remain at your disposal after you've paid all the necessary expenses. And funny thing, the more expensive the house, also the utilities also go up as well. So it's not, a lot of things also.
It has to make sense.
Yes. So
Plus, how much time are you spending in that house anyway?
Exactly. Okay, but I'm an introvert. I definitely use my house.
No. But I'm just saying, if you're waking up to go to an 8 to 5, because for me, my studio is in the house, so I call people in the house. This is practically like just cutting down on paying for an office or something outside. I just make sure it's comfortable. But if it comes to work, I can just sit down, create my content, and cut down on that expense.
Actually, that does make sense. And actually, that's, smart financial decisions where, as an adult, you have to, marry the two. Like your love for you, business and personal expenses, you're able to comfortably merge the two to a reasonable level, so you're not inflating either one.
True.
Yeah.
So now just still back to that, like what other places have you seen? Like, you've said, of course, things like lifestyle.
Yeah.
Said lifestyle, what's the term?
I think lifestyle creep.
Lifestyle creep. So this is where people feel the need to actually spend more.
Oh yeah, or live a higher life than they actually can afford.
Is that peer pressure, or where does that come from? Like in general,
I think it's the keeping up with the Joneses thing. Where you're trying to keep up with like your peers, and yes, that's a very good thing that you've asked that question. I feel like one thing people don't talk about is the fact that as friend groups, you grow at different levels. Even with relatives, it's normally friend groups and relatives. You're growing at different levels where maybe, I don't know, your best friend now is earning, I don't know, maybe 500,000 and you're earning like 100. And of course, you still want to hang out, you still want to do things together, but you cannot spend at the same level as that person. And those are the things that actually, I feel like as friends and family, we need to be more conscious about, where you don't make the other person, like with baby showers and all these things, people are making people changa, like 3,000 per person. And I mean, we are all not in the same
we are all
situation.
not the same situation. True.
Yes. And those are the things, those are the unfortunate realities that some of our, communities put us in. They are necessary pressures of life.
And I think even in general, like when we're talking about budgeting, what people don't understand is like budgeting and just finances affect everything, relationships, friendships. Because, like you have that friend who came to you, borrowed you a couple of Kenya shillings, thousands, and they're like, I'm going to return this money. And this is somebody you care about, this is your friend. If they borrowed 100, 150 Gs and, they don't return it, how is that friendship supposed to go on?
Recover, yes.
Yeah, how do we even recover from that? Yes, you're my friend, but, okay, now we come to things like where it's relationship, whether it's like your girlfriend or maybe someone you're married to. Correct. If you're the type of person who's like the main breadwinner in the family and you don't know how to play with your money, like whether it's investment or saving, you affect how maybe the kids are supposed to have their meals, vacations they're supposed to go to, schools they go to.
Schools they go to, yes.
So, I mean, budgeting is just not something that, for me, honestly, I can take for granted.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
I can't
agree.
take that for granted.
I definitely agree with that. And it's something more people should normalize. We should, normalize talking about money more. The other thing I also say if you follow me, you know, salary transparency is something I really advocate for in Kenya, because a lot of employers also take advantage of people not talking about money. So salary transparency could mean, like, let's say me and you work in the same office, same department, probably even doing the same tasks.
Yeah.
But because you don't know what you earn, and I don't know what you earn and you don't know how much I earn, most times one of us is being duped.
Yeah.
Like most times, they never give, yes, there will be the guideline of the pay gaps. You know, maybe like this grade is 10K to 20.
Yeah.
But if me, I'm at 18 and you, I'm at the higher end of the band and you're at 12.
I've been in those situations.
Yes, and we probably have the same years of experience. Like, there's really no differentiating factor to why one
I've been in a situation where I was helping someone with their work because I'm teaching them to do it and they're making more money than me.
Can you imagine?
My mind was just blown. I was like, this makes no sense.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know how I'll continue drilling this down, but salary transparency, guys, is very important. Talk about your money with your colleagues. Talk about your money with, you need to know. You'll be surprised. You'll be shocked how you're being duped by your employers.
Makes sense. So now we're going to go to how the basic steps that people can use to just creating an effective budget, the way you do your normal breakdown. Correct. And of course, I want to take everything away from that because I know you still have to do your consultancy work.
True.
People need to go to your DM. So if we give them everything here, they'll be like, see, Tusha on a podcast episode and she said everything. But there are just some other important things, like when it just comes to budgeting, also that we also need to talk about, maybe depending on the data that you've picked. Correct. What do you think, in general, not in general, according to stats scores, each country has their own.
Correct.
What do you think is the average salary in Kenya? I don't know in Europe, we can't talk. Hey, listen, I don't know how much engineers are getting paid, but let's talk about our home country. What's the average salary because in the States they have their 50K USD, or is it between 35 to 50K USD annually?
Yes, that's true.
So
that's true.
In Kenya, how much do you think in general a lot of people get paid according to just your research? Because I'm always trying to ask people, do you have an idea how much this person works and how much they get at the end of the month?
True,
so that you have a rough idea. It sinks in by the time you're spending your own money or trying to be responsible. You understand exactly what it takes to invest, save, and just put cash aside for emergency. So what roughly do you think is just take home for most Kenyans, according to research?
That's a good question. And a lot of data, there's data on it. I think there's a statistics, Kenya statistics something. I saw it on Business Daily. I think they said that the average number of Kenyans, I think, earn between 30 to 50, I think, or even less. Or rather 50 and below is the biggest chunk of Kenyan salaried, salaried Kenyans. And then very small, which was strange, a very small proportion of Kenyans have actually made it to 100.
If you make it to 100.
Yes, it's like you've made it. And I think it was less than 30% of Kenyans.
No,
it was such a small percentage, and I was baffled completely.
I think, was it 10 or 5%?
Yes, they said it was an article, right, on Business Daily about it.
I don't know if I can call my friend and ask him, but let's just go on. So you're saying in between 50 to?
I think, 50 and below. So most people are between, I think, 30 to 50, and that is, I think those are the blue collar. I would say blue collar. Blue collar.
That's is that in banking or
white collar? White collar are the guys in offices. Yeah. Blue collar are the others. The AOB, if you're in the Juakali and all that.
I don't know if he'll pick up. He had the most accurate stats on this.
Yes, please get them for us.
Come on, pick up now.
Huh?
If he doesn't pick up,
we're doing this live, guys.
Come on, Mike.
Probably he'll call you back.
Yeah, probably he's driving or something, I'm assuming, because he'd have picked up already.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we were talking with him and he was just going through the stats.
Yes, yes.
So between 30 and 50.
Yeah, I think that's where most salaried people lie. And then, 100 is, the dream. If you get to 100, you really are doing well. But I must talk about remote workers. Like, remote workers is a hidden gem in Kenya. I would say hidden gem in the salaried space, because there are many Kenyans who've discovered remote jobs. Where
Give them this more tips. Let's
I
go.
know, and I've learned it also from my audience. A lot of my clients or client portfolio are these people who do remote jobs, and they work for like American companies, European companies, and earn in dollars and Europe and live in Kenya. And to me, I usually say that is the dream.
That's the best thing can happen to you.
That's the best thing that can happen to you. You don't have to relocate like myself and live in that country, higher cost of living with that salary. These Kenyans who live in Kenya with those salaries are honestly the epitome. They're the creme de la creme.
And we'll actually go to why you actually moved from the country, right?
Yes.
But just go on.
Yeah, so for me, I would encourage Kenyans, and I've seen another content creator also on TikTok talk about this. As Kenyans, let's not limit our job search to Kenya only.
Yep.
Look for these opportunities outside. And some people don't even have one job. They have like 1, 2, 3 clients who they support, and maybe they get like $1,000 each from each client.
That's
or each.
perfect. If you think about it, like
you make $3,000 a month from
and you're in Kenya.
And you're in Kenya. That's with the current exchange rates. People are.
But is this cash? Now is this cash taxed?
It is. You have to pay, I think, 15% withholding on it. But as a consultant, because you're not really employed directly.
I think that's actually better if you compare to like what other people pay. Pay is like. Is it like 35 now or 40
but
now?
30. Yeah, you end up
it's
paying.
Crazy. It's close to 40 now.
Exactly.
So that makes sense.
Especially for those salaries that we're talking about, the higher ups. Yeah, they are.
Even with that, we also I think it's also like a very small portion of Kenyans.
Very true.
Now, if you come back to like ordinary mwananchi, or even like a lot of people who I see, like at times you do like your breakdown, I'm always trying to think like, as much as we do the breakdown, and we'll get to the details of the breakdown because this applies to everyone, like, is it even possible now to just achieve like some sort of financial freedom with the kind of salary that people get paid in Kenya, with a meridian salary?
So between 30 and 50, I would say it's very difficult with the current Zakayo economy, because life is expensive. That's the reality we are. Cost of living is quite high at the moment. And if you're earning between 30 and 50, honestly, you are probably struggling, especially if you have family. Rather if you have children, you have to take to school and all these things, and you live in Nairobi. If I was earning probably 30 or 50, I would probably like take a small house in Kajiado somewhere and live go out in the outskirts of Nairobi and live a very simple, modest life.
Yeah.
With that salary, you'd live like a king.
Yeah,
but like in Nairobi,
sure.
Rents are high, cost of living, food is expensive. Schools are expensive.
Yeah.
It's not easy. What? And that's why, the first thing it probably would help is if you're a 2-income home. So if, let's say you and your partner earn the same 30 or 50, or one of you is higher, you'll probably average the 80 to 100 if you are a 2-income.
But I know that's like a Europe thing, right? Where like even when you go on dates, even when I was in Europe, like taking someone like on a date, it's like, yo, no, I'll pay my bill. And I was just shocked because I'm like, what? What do you mean you'll pay? Like, then, no, you can't pay for my bill. Like, we split 50-50. And I'm like, okay. But now, like, even when you say, like, now we're introducing, like, a part, I don't think that's, like, a cultural thing, like, in Kenya, where people split bills 50-50.
You would be surprised. A lot, really? People talk a lot on social. People spit a lot of
people, like, who are married...
Fake stories on social media. Really? But down at the ground level, the budgets I have seen...
Yeah.
The women and the men both contribute to the home. Like,
really?
I have seen budgets where, like, I've talked to couples and the husband, yes, may be paying for, the mortgage and, a few other expenses. Then the wife takes up probably, like, the groceries.
Yeah,
utilities,
groceries.
Yes, it's not exactly 50-50, but both collectively are responsible for different items in the home.
Will the man still be respected equally? We want to go to that debate, but will the man still be respected equally with their partner if we are splitting 50-50? Don't
Not
think it will
50.
bring. Do you think
I
it will
don't-
bring?
I don't
Will ruffle
agree.
feathers there?
Yeah, I don't agree with 50-50 either.
Okay, hold on. 1 minute.
No
1 minute. Hello, Mike. Poa sana. So now a quick one, because I'm recording a podcast, the percentage of Kenyans earning over 100K per month. What was the actual start percentage-wise?
Now it should have gone up.
Gone up.
But now it should have gone. There was that article some time ago when they stated that it had gone up. But initially, the number was less than maybe like 200,000.
Less than 200,000 people.
Yeah, at some point. But that must have been like a year or two ago. I think the number has actually gone up. Can I check? Then I let you know.
Sawa. Okay. Thanks. Cheers.
So that's less than 10% because
yeah.
we have 50 or about 50 million Kenyans, and that's 200,000.
200,000.
Oh my God.
So what's the percentage you're talking about? Less than 10?
I think it's even 30.
Probably like
overly
8% there, or 8, or even less.
No, it's less.
Probably
It's
5%.
less. It's less than 10%.
We might be talking about 5%.
It's
5% of Kenyans make over 100K.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've just been trying to even just when I'm talking to people, I'm like, how don't you even understand how much people work, but they're still not getting to that?
Exactly.
And even by the time you get to that 100, I'm just talking if you're doing like a regular job where you see people waking up in the morning, and some are even in suits and everything. And don't even forget, let's say if you have a loan.
Oh dear, we need to talk about loans.
Average
by the
people
way.
do take loans to try and invest in something.
That's the ideal, but
Yeah.
Kenyans actually take loans to survive.
Really?
That is the sad reality. I have so many of my clients who have loans because you have to bridge the gap. You start with salary advances, you do it once, so it becomes a vicious cycle. You pay it, you have to take it again. You pay it, you have to take it again, just to survive, to meet your obligations.
Hello, Mike. Yeah.
There's an article in Business Daily, but this one is 2021, where the number of Kenyans earning more dropped to 79,000. That was that year.
From 200,000 to 79,000.
That was 79,000. Then in 2022, according to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the number went up again. So the number showed about 310,000.
Okay.
And 100K.
But if let's say...
this is a matter of, how can you say it? This is declared income. Of course, you have guys earning more.
Yeah.
Just as the declared income.
But see, of course, we are talking about your average Kenyans, because of course we have those people who are doing two businesses and other things on the side.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But just Meridian, in general.
Yeah, these ones are the ones on payroll.
So
that can listen.
So 300,000, that would make probably, if we have 50 million Kenyans, that's around maybe.
If you take the adults, if you take now 300,000 of say how many adults, approximate your adults to be even 20 million. So if you're taking 300,000 over 20 million, you're looking at a percentage of what? Slightly less than 2%.
Exactly.
Less than 2%.
Yeah.
Hey, sir. Okay, sir. Just thanks for that update. Watch how we finish the episode, Kwanzaa. But I appreciate. Thanks a lot, bro.
No worries.
Okay. Less than 2% of Kenyans make more than 100,000 Kenya shillings.
Exactly.
Salary.
Population of 50 million people.
Yes.
So he said, assuming how many are adults?
20 million.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So that's wild.
It's a sad reality, honestly, guys.
That's wild. So I think, and as much as that's why, we're always talking about, just lifestyle inflation. When you see people online, taking trips, doing every other weekend, splurging and everything, listen, don't believe anything that you see on social media.
That is true.
Like things on the ground are completely different.
Exactly.
You could see somebody with money, but like, there are a few lucky ones who can get to like, get away with a lot of things. Because like we've said, other people who can do like side gigs on the side, getting paid in dollars, but it's not a big portion of people.
True. And there's also the extreme on the upper side as well. The same way like there's a small percentage of people making 100,000. There's a very small percentage making abnormally huge incomes as well in Kenya. And they are the ones inflating people's perception of reality.
So what kind of jobs are we talking about though?
Like businessmen, I would assume like, businessmen.
Come on, but those we can't, that's a very small percentage as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Very small, but less than 2% probably. But they make the Maseratis we see on the roads, the Porsches we see on the roads, they exist. Somebody owns them.
They do, but I think I was also having this conversation with like some girls the other day, and I was just asking them what's your dream car? And somebody said like a G-Wagon, right? Oh, no, but not my guest who said they want a G-Wagon. I'm talking about other people here, right? So, and I was just talking in general, and I was asking them, like, okay, how many people do you know, like, who have a G-Wagon, like, that you know in person? They said no one. And then I said, like, how many people, like, even, like, let's say your dad, that maybe he knows that have or own a G-Wagon. Okay, let's go to friends of you.
Friends of
your dad and his friends. How many of their friends own G-Wagons?
Yeah.
Say like none. And I was like, just understand, like as much as you see it on the road, it's a very, very small percentage of people who have that. It's not like you can't just, especially like in Kenya, maybe abroad, yes.
Yeah.
In Europe, I was just like, come on. Yeah. This one is there, I'm seeing this. But on the Kenyan roads, those are very few people. So
that's true.
Just try and stay in touch with reality.
Reality, yes.
Before you get lost in that sauce, by the way, right?
That's true. That is true. No, I agree. Yeah. I agree. Even, but even in Europe, I think Europe
it's also
it's not that prominent.
It's not that much.
Europeans have this thing for like equality. They're not braggy. Even the ones with a lot of money.
Not unless you go to Monaco.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
I mean, but Monaco is Monaco.
Yeah, but I think even for my case, when I just did like my first Euro trip, and it was like just the lifestyle that people actually live.
Very
super well budgeted.
Exactly.
Some Kenyans, trust me, there's some people with 50K salary in Kenya who spend way more than people that I saw like in Europe.
Really?
Because people are having sandwiches like just on park benches.
Oh, yes.
People are using bikes.
Everywhere.
Walking. Let's just go to like typical middle class Kenyans. Do you know how much people spend on Ubers in Kenya?
No way.
I'm telling you, I know a lot of people who are broke, but they're always using Ubers. But I'm like, you need to cut down on your transportation. Just cut it down, because
that is true.
I drive, but with my car, I think I can spend probably less than 7 Gs in a month.
What?
Yeah.
And there were so many people. Okay, guys, can you listen to this?
Yeah.
And there were many people castigate my budget. It's possible.
You spend less than 7.
Exactly. See? Yeah. It's possible.
But on average Kenyan, like on a weekend, like how many people will used to go going on bars and they're dropped like with just your cabs and everything. That's like 1,000 or 1,500, like maybe one way. And then another way back home, like another 1,500, 1,000. Literally, I know people are broke, but they just never want to be in matatus. And that's, you need to choose like your struggles.
Yes.
If you're trying to plan for the future, just lower your pride. And I think it's the thing that we've said, lifestyle. What's the word you used?
Lifestyle creep or lifestyle inflation?
Lifestyle creep and inflation. Listen, don't admire to be chauffeured, because it's more expensive than somebody who's driving, honestly.
That is.
Ask anyone who's driving. It's way much cheaper.
And I don't know one thing. I mean, the other thing about life in Kenya, I don't know why, or rather not even in Kenya, in Nairobi, I don't know why people don't embrace carpooling. Like, there's so many cars on the road, guys. Can we normalize carpooling?
True.
If you're going in the same, especially the people like who work in town and you live like maybe in the same flat. Unless maybe somebody's going to have an evening event, but most times you go to the office and
no
come back
Kenyans
home.
are carpooling.
No Kenyans are carpooling.
Nope.
You're pulling up, I don't know, in an apartment block, you're pulling up like 5-10 cars going in the same direction.
Same direction. That's why there's
is
traffic
that?
everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I think Uber is one of the things where like a lot of middle class people just waste their money on. Like, but to each his own. Do whatever you want with your money. But if you're trying to like get to like some financial freedom, which is what we'll get back to, I think you really have to cut down on some of the things that if you're still energetic and young,
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And actually on that one, I'd like to add, I'm not a full advocate of always pushing to tell people, okay, remove this from your budget or remove, because sometimes you feel like, okay, so, I mean, sifai kuishi, like I'm just supposed to suffer. No, that's not what we are saying. But like he said, you choose your battles. You can't have everything at once at the beginning. But until you do, maybe choose one luxury to hold on to, and then the rest you sacrifice for the moment until you're able to afford, the life that you want, Yeah. So we're not saying, suffer your way through until you are rich. No.
I'm telling you suffer.
I'm not saying suffer.
I'm telling you, what I'm saying. But you know why? For me,
have one thing that makes you happy.
I know. But why I would say suffer a bit, it's because now you'll appreciate more once you start getting money.
Yes, that is
You'll
true.
know exactly where to put. Because I'm always telling people, even at times like maybe I'm in a situation where I have to like settle a bill or anything, I'll be like, I'm comfortable doing this because I know there's something coming in two weeks or a week. I know it's coming.
That's true.
And this is like probably passive. I don't have to work for it because I set something up. But now you can't be doing that if you haven't set something up.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying now.
Okay.
Suffer.
From that point of view, then
get what I'm saying?
You better suffer.
Okay, now
Suffer.
a question here, like some of the questions that I had. Also, like what strategies would you recommend for someone struggling to stick to a budget? Because like we said, this is like just a common thing. Like what strategy would you give someone who's like, like we've said, most people, they're like, aki nikigusa hii pesa. I don't know where it went. Sijui nini ilifanyika. I was supposed to buy one drink. I've bought like a boti. I was supposed to... So what strategies would you like just recommend, like as a budgeting coach? Because you're giving the people tips and tricks.
That's a good one. So for me, usually, what personally I used to do when I was in Kenya, and I would recommend it because it used to work for me, is you pay everything first. So you pay yourself first. And people always say when I did the video for pay yourself first, people thought I'm saying, and when they could you enjoy, no.
No, that's not what you're talking about here.
Not that. But you put aside your whatever you're putting for savings or investment away first. So if it's the 30%, 20%, take that out immediately from your current account and put it away to your money market or wherever you need to put it away. Then from there, allocate everything to your expenses. So whatever needs to be paid, rent, utilities, blah, 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 blah. Again, pay everything immediately.
What's the 50, 30, 20 thing?
Yes, that's the 50, 30, 20. So the 50% is usually essential expenses. Then 30% is non-essential expenses.
No, hold on. Some people don't understand what the essential thing is.
So essential expenses are things you need to survive. Like without essential expenses, you cannot live. So like food, shelter, clothing.
Yeah.
Those are essential. Without essential, you cannot survive.
Okay.
So in the essential bucket, these are things you rarely have flexibility over. You can't really change them. Unless like if it's housing, you completely move to a cheaper place. And then non-essential are things you can live without. So for me, I usually put things like phone. But this one, people find it debatable nowadays. Apparently, you must have a phone to survive. But for me, it's non-essential. So phone.
A phone.
Internet. Yeah, that's what people say. It's essential. You can't live without your phone.
You can live without your phone?
Yes, I can.
Right now, in this day and age?
Yes, why can't you live without your phone? So long as you have your house.
Now you're pushing it.
You know where your office is.
I'm the one who was supposed to be like the guy for cutting down, but now you're pushing it.
Your phone is not essential to survive. How did our parents survive without phones then?
Okay, debatable. We'll get back to that.
Then internet, also some people say it's essential. Okay, for the people who work from home, fine, it's essential.
Yeah.
And for me, I say charity is a non-essential, but some people also debate about that. And tithing, but that's a debate for another day. And then, so under non-essential, there are things like that. Even shopping, clothes shopping, for example. Like, so long as you have clothes, I mean, you really don't need to buy new clothes every month. That's non-essential. Also, self-care. Self-care can be also essential or non-essential depending on how you look at it as well. Maybe for ladies, you have to, of course, look presentable. So it might be important to go to the salon every month.
If we get to that, by the way, we have to touch on that a bit.
Yes, but it does not mean you have to go to a 10,000 shilling hairstyle instead of maybe like a 2,000 shilling hairstyle.
But that's standard.
Again, debatable.
Isn't that standard?
It's a preference.
I mean, I had someone who told me like to buy them a weave, and I was just like, I can't do that. Come on.
And weaves are, like they're like $300, $500.
Like, okay, maybe you see me doing like a little bit of unboxing here and there, but I'm not buying anyone a weave. No.
It could be a gift.
No.
You don't love them, though.
No, it's never that serious. No.
Yeah, so non-essential is, essential is 50%, non-essential is 30%. And then your savings stroke investment should be 20%. So like this is percentage net income. So you multiply by your net income and you get the figures. Yeah. And that's usually like a guiding principle, rule of thumb, if you will. So it's not like it's, you have to, but it's just guiding you on how to break down your budget. Yeah, so that's
and the question was like now just strategies for people who can't actually budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like I said, this first strategy is you pay everything out first and you only leave on your current account the things that, you'll pay slowly until the end of the month. So like groceries, of course, you're not going to spend like, let's say 30,000 all at once. You could, but you can stagger like, your groceries every week until, so you leave that in your current account. Also like, your hair and things, just your general expenses within the month, those you leave there. But then so long as you fix that amount and you only leave what you need to use until the end of the month, then you will not overspend.
Yeah.
But if you leave your savings there, you leave everything there. You don't apportion and correctly allocate where everything needs to go. Then you overspend. I've also fallen victim to that. There's a time, I think mid-month, I was like, I have so much money. What happened? Kumbe, I had forgotten to send money to something.
Yeah.
And I was like, shoot. And I ended up not paying for it because I actually spent the money by mistake. So this by mistake thing, no. You pay everything first. If it's insurance, lipa. If it's whatever, pay. Pay everything that needs to be paid first. Then leave what is pending until the end of the month. Other people even use the envelope system if you use cash. So you just put them in envelopes, allocate them correctly. So groceries in its envelope. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the videos online. They're really nice and very well planned.
But it's kind of programming yourself.
Exactly.
It's just programming yourself.
Yes, it's a mindset. Budgeting is a mindset issue. So even if you buy a budget from me and in your mindset, you're not ready to actually actively change your life, you're not going to use my budget.
Yep.
You're not going to do it because you're not mentally ready to do it. It has to be a personal decision.
I posted this meme like on my Insta stories like last week, and it was just about like this guy who was talking about like, you know what, like he's so used to paying so many bills that 1 month, just like you're similar just to your story. But 1 month he was like, he has extra cash in his pockets, and then he's like, no. There's something I haven't paid. There's just something I haven't paid. There's no way I have this much money left in my pockets. And then now, like also now, that would take me back to like, also this is just also something that's very common like in the US, and also like we've said also like in Europe and other, like a lot of countries. As much as like we're always saying like, we blame the president for the economy and all the bad state of everything. But even people in a majority of the countries, like currently right now, they're hand to mouth.
True.
They say like a big percentage of Americans do not have $1,000 in their account. And that's crazy if you think about it.
It is.
It's crazy. That means all the money that's coming in. And I don't know about like, do you drive in Europe?
Yes, I do.
You have to pay like monthly insurance payments,
right?
right?
Oh my God, I have so many car payments for my car. Like you have to pay for taxes for it separately. You have to pay insurance for it.
Monthly,
you have to pay. I think there are 3 things. It's car insurance, taxes, and there's something.
That you pay every month.
Exactly. It's so painful.
Every single month.
Yes. Here, Kenya, we only have insurance
annually.
Annually,
Yeah.
Or, okay, you can pay it monthly if you want, but you only have insurance. You don't have car tax.
Yeah.
In Europe, there's car tax. And that car tax it's more expensive the older your car is. It's more expensive the more energy efficient your car is.
How much are we talking about?
For
like averagely, like just for...
For my car, I pay, how much is it? 170 euros a month?
117?
Yeah, 170.
Euros per month.
Yes, that is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Let me convert it into
So
Kenya
anytime...
for a very simple
anytime
saloon car, by the way. It's not even a fancy car.
So anytime you want to scream like, I'm going to Europe, understand...
It's 30K. I pay almost 30K a month, guys.
Per month. Yeah, to just be on the road with your personal car, to do your
Exactly.
personal errands and stuff. So some of those things, and I think I was also talking to like a friend of mine who was talking about like, I can't wait to go to Europe, but I was like, you need to be prepared because
Correct.
I was there for like a month, and trust me, you're paying for everything.
Even going to the
where's
toilet.
the washroom? I was so
You
shocked by the way.
We didn't even
I was like,
time it,
€1,
guys. The
€2.
toilet, €1.
I was just like, there's no way. I am so
100.
pressed. There's a line and you have to pay.
168,
Yeah.
150 there to go to the washroom.
Standard,
guys.
by the way. And this is just like, it's there. If you want, you insert like your
The
coins.
coins.
And then you go to the washroom.
Yeah.
That's just a few of the things. So you can only imagine some of the other like now essentials that you have to deal with
Yes.
as a grown up there.
Yeah. The other
Crazy.
annoying thing, like now, because I'm here and I've left there,
Yeah.
you know, here we have the luxury you can discontinue subscriptions when you're not there.
Yeah.
There you can't. They run on contracts.
Even when you're not there,
When
you
I'm
pay.
not there, right now my internet has been cut, my electricity has been cut, my water has been cut, gas has been cut because you work on a contract. So whether you are there or not, fine, they'll bill you on your consumption.
Yeah.
But upon you pay in advance.
Yeah.
They will only refund you what you did in use. But at the time of
still
the
have to
contract,
make
you still
payment.
have to make payments. So even now, I'm making full payments when I'm not there. It's normally so painful
Yeah,
and
that's-
annoying. Though they'll refund you. I do have that disclaimer. They will refund you. but-
And that's the thing with like, I think now where Kenya is trying to go with like putting systems in everything. Like I know people are crying now, but if we get a full functioning system to tax everything, the way it's in Europe, I don't know what people will do in this country.
Yes.
We'll be homeless.
Correct.
A lot of people will be homeless.
You're traced to the T, to your address. Out here in Kenya, but
Yeah.
we are not traceable.
No. We
are
don't
really
have
not
systems in
traceable.
place.
And that's the other thing.
Yeah.
We can actually talk about it. When you are going to Europe, how much paperwork did you have to give?
I actually interviewed someone here who does travel. They're from the States and they travel to just a lot of countries doing content. And then I asked him like, okay, so how much paperwork did you have to do coming to Kenya? He said nothing.
Exactly.
I just needed an air ticket. I was like, wait, what do you mean?
Exactly.
I'm like, you didn't need any bank statement. He said, no.
No.
I asked him, like, have you ever been asked for a bank statement? He said, no. Now, for my case, let me tell you guys, I got my visa the last day
Before your travel?
Before traveling. Because I was like, okay, Sawa, bring this paperwork. Okay, your company. Okay, why isn't it functioning like this? I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's even close this company. I'm not even working with it. Let's work with my individual movement first of all.
Yes.
Okay, I have this and this set aside, and this is what can account for what is it called? Social economic ties or something, right?
Yes.
So I have to justify that first of all. After you justify that with all the paperwork necessary, your bank statements, my friend, I'm like, okay, we've seen a bit of inconsistency here. I'm like, okay, then forget about this account. There's this other one. They're like, oh, okay. Yes, we see money in this account. Where is this money from? I'm like, what? I'm like, what the hell do you mean? So all the paperwork that you have to do just before you leave the country, because even for me, like I think the biggest achievement that I had to push for myself is when I'm applying for my Shenzhen visa, I'm doing it solo. I did not want any ties with a company. I wanted to make sure financially I'm in a position where I can do this by myself. They want backtrack of bank scripts, and I'm like, everything, here they are. You need paperwork for this. I need money for investment. I'm like not going there with any sponsorship. So I think when you're in that position, it gives you like kind of like a sense of like, I think I'm doing the right moves myself. Because no company is taking me there. I'm going completely as an individual.
True.
They're like, why are you going to do their vacation?
Yeah. Actually, going on vacation is the easiest way to get a visa.
But if you say work, you're not going.
Yeah,
Work, you're not going. No way.
I think vacation is the easiest thing. It's the easiest thing.
But even with
the
that, paperwork still is needed.
It's very crazy.
Yeah, and bank statements has to go 6 months back.
Yeah.
And be consistent.
Yes.
Not that you got one big check
boom,
today and then the rest of the month it's just that one check. They're like, no. This is not what you're going for.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Actually, unfortunately, there's some people we're supposed to go with who got denied visas. And there are actually people that I know that I think they're just in a good position. Work-wise, they're always doing gigs and stuff. I was just like, okay, it's a very unfortunate, but...
It's true. And it's that thing that I'm saying. We are not traceable. I mean, let's be honest, guys. We are not traceable. In Europe, you're traceable. Like, just with my birthday and my ID, or something. Yeah. There are two things.
They have social security there.
With the social security and your birthday, you're traced everywhere, like to the bank, all your utilities, everything. Yep. In Kenya, you are not traceable, guys. Okay. You can go hide in your village. It's fine. And that's why these people are like that with us. Let's just accept the reality. And until, like you said, the systems are in place, we cannot be complaining because we are a high risk.
True. Now, another question that I have, because I have quite a number and we'll still have to like jump on and off, because I think I like the way we're talking about something. We go to personal stories and everything. So how can one, or like an individual, just strike a balance between saving for the future and also enjoying the present while budgeting?
That's a good one.
Because we have to think about the future. And I'm always telling people, like, the most important thing is not even now or next year. When you get to a certain age, maybe 40 or 50s, 60s, if your finances are not good.
Yeah.
I've seen people in the States working in, what do you call it, like Walmart at 80 years old and just still waking up, driving cabs even at like 70 years. Somebody, you can even get a heart attack while driving, or maybe pure exhaustions and burnout. They're not good for you. But like now, how do you strike a balance between that? Saving for the future and also like right now, of course, the Kenyans say, what if I die tomorrow?
True.
What if I die tomorrow?
I'm also a YOLO person sometimes.
No. Nowadays, I'm like, no.
You're 60 tutafika kweli.
You know how many people I've just been with, and now I was like, when somebody talks like that, I'm not pointing at you. I'm just saying, because I've been in so many situations. Yeah, even if it's dating someone, a fling or a friend, and then someone's like, yo, what if you're not here tomorrow? I'm like, can you imagine for you? And this explains exactly why you're spending money the way you're spending, without any plans, without anything. Because me, I'm thinking like I would want to be like 50, 60, 70, 80 even probably, and even much older. But you've seen, Kwanza, like I think there's a chick who told me she doesn't see herself getting to 28.
She thinks she'll die before 28?
She doesn't. She'll be okay even if she doesn't make it to 28. So she has to have her fun now. Yes, but it's not just her. Like there's some people like probably even in their 30s, if you ask them, they'll be, because if you're saying, what if I'm not here tomorrow? You don't picture yourself being in your 40s or 50s or late 20s. That means you're like, almost kind of like, if me and you are going out to have fun, you're on a different mission and vision like me. You won't put on a seatbelt. I will have my seatbelt on. Right? I'll be taking a few shots like this. You'll be drinking like this from a bottle. You see, so also for me, I have to be very careful.
The partner will die on you.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a long life.
I even now have
ahead.
to explain to the cops like what exactly happened to this person. Like I didn't sign up for that.
I know.
But already I know how mentally a lot of people are there. Like they're not seeing the future.
See the future.
They don't see the future.
True. Okay.
So that's why even when it comes to spending money, somebody be like, see, I've gotten a check of like, let's say 500 Gs maybe. I've done something big, a big project or whatever. I'm like, let me have my fun now.
True.
Yeah, let me have my fun now. Ati put
For
450
what?
450
For what?
away.
For who?
For future. Ati watoto wangu get to enjoy this money na mimi
Yeah.
So we
no,
kind
I
of see.
I see what you
But
mean.
how do you strike a
that's
balance
why-
between?
And that's why I respect the child-free movement. And these are the people I really hope that you are choosing to be child-free, because
Yeah.
if you don't think there's a future, then don't bring other people into the world to
Imagine
suffer,
such
please.
a person has a kid.
Yeah, please. These are I hope in the same mentality, you're also not planning to
Yeah.
have mini use.
Yeah.
Because, I think, like you said, it's a good question. I think future, even without thinking of children, even for yourself, I think one of the greatest things or sad realities I saw as I was growing up with our parents is that a lot of them, especially the ones who are really wealthy while we're growing up, a lot of them didn't retire well. Like you've seen them in the
good.
estates.
Yeah.
Like yes, they have the house, but like inside that house, they are barely surviving. You know, their kids have to send them money.
That's a majority of the people in Kenya as well.
And all this, like, you know, the people, your parents in Buruburu, in Gumo, in Langata, all these areas, they own the houses. Granted, they do, because they were the first OG on mortgages. They have property, they have land, they have all these things. But cash flow wise, they just didn't have.
I know a lot of people.
Me
like
too.
Count
And
it
it's
everywhere.
such
Even
a
from
sad-
Runda, we can pick Runda,
Even them.
Loresho.
Oh my God.
Come on, Runda, Loresho. I can pick we can start from all those upper.
So you
upper
have this huge house in
Yes.
Runda, but you can't afford to live in
But
it?
your mission during their day, the biggest thing was to own land and house.
Yes.
So you can only imagine even at the jackpot somebody secured at a certain time, whether it was business-wise, job or whatever, their whole mission in their head was I need to own a house in Nairobi. So you probably splurged over 50 M, even close to 100 to some. Because there are some places, if we start breaking down land, expenses and building and everything, probably more than that, when you would have actually put this money on an investment and still actually just enjoy financial freedom and have money working for you.
Exactly.
Growing, multiplying. A lot of people who are, and it's not in a bad way, that's where even at times the black tax thing comes in.
That's what I want to say. But granted, a lot of them, their children are very successful.
Yeah.
So their children can afford to take care of them and send them monthly.
But that's not the
that's not the
plan.
goal.
Yeah, that's not the goal. That's not the goal.
Yes, your children are not your retirement plan.
You want your kids to go and enjoy and spoil their kids as well, right?
Yes.
Because now if I'm taking care of you, especially if you're old, your insurance cover premium is slightly higher.
Yeah.
Medical expenses, physio maybe, all those other things. But if you had planned that,
that's true.
You won't be punishing your kid for that.
That is true.
And you can imagine if your kid is not yet successful, but they're trying to get to financial freedom, they'll always find themselves backpedaling because they have to take care
of you.
Yeah, you have a big house somewhere where your pride cannot allow you to sell this house.
It's true.
What? I sell a house in Muthaiga? Ain't no way. I'd rather starve to death.
And sometimes they are starving to death. They
starve to death.
In those big houses.
Yes.
That is true.
How many houses in Karen have people just died in their houses and people come and try and claim their property?
That is super sad. Yeah. No, it's true. I have one of my clients, and this is the saddest situation I ever saw with a client. She was doing so well financially.
Yeah.
But then her black tax burden was so huge. So huge. And for no fault of her own. It's just her parents were not financially, they were not taking care of her siblings.
Yeah.
And then she had to pay for fees and this and that. And it was just racking up. And like you said, it's affecting her, it was stiffening her growth because she has to keep taking care of her family. It was super sad for me. And that's why I'm really, black tax is non-essential, expensive.
But that's also common in a lot of households.
Yes.
Let's just be honest.
Yes, black tax
they've
is
said
real.
If one person ameomoka,
you have to
it's
save
the whole
else.
crew. Even since we've omokad, if you've become a
save
qualified pilot, the first pilot in your home, listen, you're paying school fees for
everybody else.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Your sister's children, your brother's children, cousins, and everything. And it's almost kind of a responsibility that's put upon you. But you have to understand, then that might limit us from taking it to the next level. If
It
it's
is.
accumulating wealth and just like securing like a generational name.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Don't even get started
Yeah.
on the partner. You'll be lucky if you'll get an understanding partner who will be okay with you churning money to your family every
We haven't
month.
even touched on that.
Yes, because I don't think sometimes it's even fair to your partner, whether husband or wife, that you...
if you are the wife and you're seeing like
Yes,
school
and
fees
you're
going
seeing
out and
yes, that black tax, and it's both sides. I've seen
Yeah.
black tax with women. One thing about Kenyans nowadays is everybody carries their own black tax. I've not seen a
True.
man paying for the wife's family, and I've not seen a wife paying
what?
for the husband.
Where?
Most of the time, for
Who are
at
these
least
good
the clients,
friends that you
at least
have?
No, it's the clients. A lot of my clients, they carry
Really?
their own burden. Like if it's me, I pay for my siblings and my family. If it's you, you pay for your
Me,
siblings.
how I
and
know
your family.
it's
I've not seen
the guy.
it married a lot. Like I've not seen it. Okay,
Maybe
it's supposed to be married, but
Yeah.
I've not seen it like together. People taking each other's burdens that much.
Which
of
also
late.
which also is a good thing. I
Yeah.
think just try and cut down because
Correct.
you'll be punishing one person,
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, look at
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade, and did you see the Dwayne Wade and Gabriel Union story? I
Yeah.
think that was the black tax
Yeah,
issue was
yeah.
there, where Gabriel Union was still taking care of her family,
Yeah.
and Dwayne Wade was like, yeah, it's on her to take
Yeah.
care of
And
her
I was
own.
shocked because I was
Yes,
like, for
he was
someone
so
like Gabriel
adamant.
Union should be like, no, you're paying everything
Yes,
for
because
everyone.
he's the one who has
Yeah.
more money than her, but he
But
was
she
like,
said,
no.
but
Yeah.
also that's a nice partner to have.
Yes.
If she legit says like, you know what, this is not your responsibility.
She
let me
did
take-"
say that, though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
She did say that.
Said I wouldn't allow him to pay
to
for.
take it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but how many people will say that?
Yeah, true. That's
Yeah, I'd be like, what? NBA player?
I
No way,
know.
you're paying for everything.
to
Paying for-
Meomoka.
paying for everything.
You're saving everybody, please.
But yeah, so you see, it's kind of hard, but we're also talking about like now just securing the future. Are there like
Yes.
some specific methods, like, you know,
One
or
thing
strategies?
is definitely getting a pension. I don't know
Pension.
why people don't like.
How does a pension
especially
work?
the remote workers.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of my clients are remote workers, so they don't have like the automatic pension that comes with employment that most Kenyan employers will have set up. So if I'm speaking to all these consultants, you have a lot of money, guys.
Yeah.
Invest in two things: medical for yourself
Yeah.
and pension. And how the pension in Kenya works, you put your money in a fund. I think there are two funds, Provident, and there's another one. Then there's one where they pay you a full lump sum upon retirement.
Yeah.
And then there's another one where the fund pays you a monthly stipend from the fund. I'm not sure the difference between, I'm not sure the names of the two, but I know one is Provident and another one is another one. So it's the difference is one is monthly and one is you get a lump sum at a go.
I think for,
And people prefer the lump sum.
The lump sum one, right?
option, yes. Because the prorated one, it usually like ends up being like, I don't know, 20, 30,000, which is really nothing.
But now, which package do you know where to go to? Because like even for like what I've personally taken, and of course we'll touch on what you've personally taken,
Yeah.
is like I pay X amount. I won't say it because now I don't like, now I need 5K urgently. I don't want those conversations. But I pay it annually, but it covers for, it's like life insurance.
Yes.
It's like life insurance. There's that like a lump sum that you're saving for. And in case, of course, of an emergency, I'm not planning on going away anytime soon.
True.
But, you know, if I go away like you, there's some people will be very, very well compensated in the event that happens, right?
Ah, okay.
But also it has something called Educare tied to it as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So where even if you don't have a kid yet, you're still saving up for like a kid. So
The
by the
future
time
for
like
that
if you have a kid, by the time they just come in and they get to like after they finish like pre-unit and stuff, their school fees is catered for from then
until
to uni,
university.
until uni. Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
there are different packages, but I don't know how somebody's supposed to pay. Because now when it comes to like your average person or average Joe, there's so much packages that people are trying to sell you.
True.
So which one do you go for as a person who's like, me, I'm just trying to be an wananchi. Just tell me what strategy I can use to save for my future, plan for my kids, and all those things. How do you choose?
Or the things
How do
to
you
look
pick?
out for, maybe. So one thing, of course, you should look at a fund that has been there for a while. So haitaingia maji after a few months. So you have to go for a reputable company. Of course, one with a digital platform where you can track your statements monthly as well.
Your
That's
phone,
important.
you can just go in and see.
Yes, and one that has fairly good returns. We didn't talk about it, but the pension funds actually have interest, like compounded interest on them, and that's how they're growing over the years. So let's say, the cash value right now is, let's say, $1 million. You have $1 million as pension in your account. It's not going to be $1 million in the next 20 years. It's going to compound, even if you don't add anything. It's going to compound until by the time you need the pension.
What's the percentage-wise we're talking about?
On average right now, I'm not sure. Actually, I was trying to call a pension fund before.
We need the numbers.
Here.
We need the numbers.
Yes,
Barbs.
but it should be like, a good
Roughly,
number should be 9% and above, because inflation right now is 7%.
Exactly, because now
So it has to be
inflation
9
being
and
in.
above.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good pension fund. And again, reputable company. You don't take one that, your pension, they risk, because
We've seen it.
They risk money, like they do invest with your money, and that's how they get returns from your money. So you want to go for a company that's investing in a risky way, but in a calculated risky way.
They have good strategies.
Exactly.
Reputable over a long duration of time. They're not losing people's money.
Yes. Because pension is one thing, even in the US. Pension is one of the things that a lot of Americans wameibiwa sana over the years.
And people end up being homeless. That's the case. Because you're old, you can't go back to employment.
Exactly.
You can't hustle, and your pension
is not coming. Exactly. Can you imagine? That's how you go. People kill themselves. They go crazy.
True.
I can imagine. Hey, you can unalive yourself. Why? No.
But even the thing is, like, because now we're talking about like just saving for the future. What other things what other places or positions can people like just put their money to just not only save? Because I think to me saving is okay, but I find it kind of useless.
Yeah, you need to invest.
If it's not investing. Because I think even for you said like there is something you said like in one of your videos. Let me try and find out what you said. You said your biggest money regret.
Yes, he's leaving money in the bank.
Yes.
Yes. Never do that, yes. But yes, one thing you need to always do when you're saving, we are using saving loosely, right? We're not saying like you actually put it in a savings account and leave it there. But like we mean you put it in an investment account. So whether it's a money market fund, whether it's a fixed deposit fund or account, those ones earn you interest.
Yeah.
And like he mentioned, it's important that the interest is above inflation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be losing money every day.
What do you think about government bonds? And even before we go to that, I'll even show you like the last message that I got today. We won't say the name of the person.
Yeah.
But you see. No, hope all is well. Been watching your episodes for financial advice. And Kumbuka, you had mentioned something about investments paying off.
Yes.
I want to start investing myself. So was looking for kidogo advice on where to begin. And you see, this is a message that came in today at 11:50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I do bills and bonds. I'm not going to lie. I do bills and bonds.
Yeah. I keep telling people.
I do them because, at the end of the day, they are low risk. Fairly lower risk than a lot of the investments that you can take in Kenya, to be honest. And bills are the short term. So you take them in Kenya, you take them either in 90 days either or
30, 60, 90
yes,
days,
30,
right?
60, exactly.
Yeah.
Not 30, 60.
60. Are you sure it's not 30?
It's not 30.
There's
it's 30.
There's
1
30.
month.
There's no 30?
Oh, wait.
I'm asking.
We need to check. Let's check.
I know there's 90.
There's 90 and 180. 180. No, minimum is 90.
90.
Yes, so 93 90? Months.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
my bad.
182,
Yeah.
which is approximately 6 months.
Yeah.
And 364.
Okay. 3 months, 6 months, and then a whole year, right?
Correct.
Okay, I got you.
Yes, so the bills are short term.
I haven't done bills.
Oh,
but
you
I
always
do
do bonds. Okay. Yeah, and bonds are long term. So there are two types of bonds. There are the normal bonds, and then there are the infrastructure bonds, which everybody's always buzzing about.
That's what I go for,
yes.
actually.
And why do you go for them?
They're tax-free.
Yes.
Because every time guys are saying tax, I'm like, hey, bro, listen. There's one thing that the government is telling you. We're borrowing your money and you don't have to pay tax for it.
That's true.
That's the one place, because there's no other place, by the way.
Yeah.
No other thing you're doing in this country where you're not paying tax. Impossible. They'll just depending on whether you're going to central bank directly, or if you're using like a bank, you'll get like to pay a little bit of fee or processing fees and all those things. Because if it's through a bank, you're using their app, and you have to be reasonable also. If you get to use their app and see exactly like, okay, these are the new updates. I mean, that only makes sense, right?
That's true. That's true.
So why for you specifically bills and bonds?
So I do bills and bonds. I do both because I use the short term to accumulate funds. So I can either use my money market fund. So you use your let's say, I don't know, you project that in the next few months you want to buy a bond for, let's say, 1 million, right? And of course, I don't have 1 million right now. Yeah. So I want to accumulate it. So put it aside. So you can either use bills. So you put like 50 every month. You buy a bill. Then by the time you withdraw, or rather the payment comes back to you, you're able to accumulate and then buy a bigger bond. Yeah. That's how you can use bills. Also, I use my money market fund to do that as well. So you put money aside in the money market fund, accumulate your whatever you need to buy. Even if it's land, by the way, I don't know if you want to buy a land for 2 million in a year or 2 years. Or
are you a land investor?
I'm not a land investor, by the way. But if for those who are good at it, because I know there's some people who are good at land and real estate and stuff. Yeah. So if you are good at it and you want to buy things cash, also money market funds or short-term bills are a good way of accumulating the funds.
So now another thing that I would ask you about, especially when you're coming to things like bonds. Yes. Because I think lately a lot of people there's been speculations on because government is giving people crazy interest. Yes. Guys are there's no way. But I was trying to tell people the thing is also. Yeah.
And bonds are long-term now.
They're long-term.
Bonds are now, minimum I've seen is there's a 2-year bond, 3, 5 on average. And they're even longer ones in the market, in the secondary market. So those are the long-term investments are bonds. Yes.
But also just in bonds, is your strategy collecting them after maturity, or do you
reinvest?
Do you pick your dividends after every 6 months?
Oh, I definitely pick my dividends. I do not reinvest. Maybe I should consider.
Yeah, because even for me, it's if it's not dividends, and dividends for those people who don't know, when you're doing bonds, it's the payout that they give every semi-annually.
Exactly.
Every 6 months.
Yeah. And also shares do give dividends as well. Yeah. Some shares. Shares. Most bank, if you have shares that...
What shares do you work with? Okay, you don't have to go. We're not going
I can.
You still have people be I heard you talking about me. Can I have any urgency?
No, but I always say this. I talk about the investments I have, and I share them with my audience. But tukichomeka just remember, tutachomeka what I'm telling you what I have. Yeah. So that not what is sponsored, because I've not talked about what is sponsored. When it's sponsored, I will say sponsored. Yeah. I'm talking about what I personally have invested in it. And if tukichomeka, remember, tunachomeka wote. Don't come say Barbs said.
Barbs said.
Barbs didn't say. Barbs only said what she invests in as well. Yeah, but I usually focus on banks because they have dividends. I was trying to get Safaricom finally. I had not gotten Safaricom earlier.
How comes it's so hard to get into some of these ninis? Do you use an app, or you have to
I was using those agents. They're called agents.
Now that's where for me, anytime I hear agent or a middleman.
They're called what? They're not, okay. I'm calling them. You know what I mean? Brokers.
Yeah.
I was a broker.
Yeah. I'm calling them agents. Of course, they can be reputable and everything. But for me, I think I'm more comfortable with something that I can use an app and see. So either if it's an institution, the same way we can say, let's say, okay, there's this bond that the government has been doing lately. I don't know whether you're in on it.
Yes.
It's IFB,
I did.
IFB 1, 2023, 6.5.
This is your app?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
For StanChart.
Oh, you use StanChart.
Which one do you use?
I go directly with Central Bank. So I have the Dow CSD.
Oh, so you're hey, me paying this to commissions here and there? No. But now
But it's okay. It's still
you
very,
can see,
very clear.
and minimal, like right now, Stanchart used to have like a minimal of like 100 Gs.
yeah.
But now you see they're saying even like with 50 Gs, you can still buy.
Yeah.
But let's talk about like the coupon first of all.
Yes, the first coupon I think should be in January, no? January?
Yeah,
January. Yes.
But let's say, no, we're talking about like now the dividend return. They're talking about 17.93%.
Exactly. Annually though. So divide by 2.
Yeah. Annually, but still, we're still talking about like, where else do you put? Like, I don't think
You can get that.
Is there a country that's giving as high as 17.93?
No. I mean, Europe interest rates are what? Even if you get like
5,
7%,
6, 7.
that's the ideal.
They cannot go over 10%.
Yes, everything is now between 2 and 4.
2 and 4%.
Yeah. But it's because of the stability of their currency. Right?
Yeah. No, I also understand that, but still.
Ours, it's because of the varying,
But 17%, let's just put this into perspective, right?
17% of 100,000.
No. Let's go with 1 million.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you put in 1 million, if you buy bonds, because other people, there are some people who don't understand how bonds work, and they're always asking. Like, let's say the government is borrowing 1 million shillings from you.
Yeah.
And then they're saying the interest rate is
It was 17.93%
17.93% annually. Of course, they'll do dividends semi-annually, like after every 6 months.
Yes.
So that's 179,300 Kenyan shillings annually.
For just keeping you.
Them borrowing your money. And
they'll pay by.
Yeah. And now you see, semi-annual, now we're talking after every 6 months, you get to collect 89,000 Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
So now I'll tell you the strategy that I use.
Okay.
Right? And, you can borrow it, but, if it works for you, well, if it doesn't work for you, but it cannot not work for you if you understand exactly what I'm saying. I've spread out like my bonds for 6 months.
Okay.
So basically what that means is every month I have something coming in.
You have a coupon coming. Yeah.
Every single month.
Yes. One of my mutuals, the Wealth Tribe, let me plug her. She also does that.
Yeah.
She does that.
So
you bid so that you collectively have the schedule. The payment schedule.
So every mid-month there's something coming in my account. So for one, and I'm always telling people, like, as much as like it wasn't like this, but I had to stay for a very long time and try and figure out like finances properly and everything. But for my case, I never have to think about rent anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Utilities. So if you are around me, at times it can be very confusing. And you also have to understand, because now I'm explaining.
Cash flow wise, you don't have cash flow.
Yeah.
But like things are paid.
But even if I don't wake up and work today or tomorrow,
there's
money still coming in.
Yeah.
Money still coming in. So, and that's just like a rough idea of how I can tell people, like, think about how you can save up, and long term you can structure money to definitely work for you. It makes things easier because now you can choose. Like for me, because I'm working freelance, I can say this month I just don't feel like doing anything. And
you could use your time on other things.
Yeah,
I can just develop a new skill. I don't know if you want to.
I can go ride horses.
You can, learn
how to skate.
Luxury of.
Exactly.
That is amazing.
Yeah, but that's how I've structured. So rent, utilities, and just like even just my upkeep and everything, they're structured with that. And then I have like now things that I can put in like more risky investments.
True.
And that will bring me to like what would I consider risky investments?
Land.
No, land, I wouldn't even touch land. I wouldn't.
It is risky.
Because land, first of all, like I'm not getting dividends anyway.
It's just money.
It's a speculation of like this land in 10 years, it's going to be like worth 2-3 times the amount.
Most times it does grow in value.
But 10 years.
Your issue is the duration. But you're buying a bond for 7 years.
Am I still talking about the person who's like YOLO life here?
No, but personally, my fear with land is you know how Kenya is.
Somebody's gonna come and pick that land at some point.
Yes, the stealing
Ama
and
paperwork,
the lack thereof of a structure around
transparency.
Actually, yes.
Yeah, there's no transparency.
For me, I am very afraid of that because if somebody comes and holds a knife to my throat and they're like, that land is mine, I'll just be like, take it. I mean, what happened the other time with the bulldozing and everything, I mean,
did you see those houses? They were beautiful.
Exactly, whether it was their fault or whether they were duped, whoever it was. But the fact that it happened in the first place, that should
even
be
for me,
the
I was
problem.
just like, I can't touch land or property for that matter because of that. Because it's just too risky now. We don't know how these big shots are dealing with paperwork.
Exactly.
Just some fishy and sketchy things that are going on.
Correct.
That it's not in our control. So for bonds, how you mentioned about like 7-year bond, but even if understand if like, let's say we've spread out my bonds the way I've used my strategy, that means for 7 years with that one bond, every 6 months I'm collecting.
Oh, yes.
And for the other years, and I'm always trying to think, there was a friend of mine, now he's in, I think he's in the States. And we had this debate because I was saying like, what? You're talking about bonds? Because I always share a few tips on my Insta stories, like, hey. And then he's like, what? Bonds? Hey, you know Zakayo is coming for the bonds. I'm like, what do you mean? He's borrowed money from me. So he's coming for what exactly?
Exactly.
He's borrowed money from me and he's paying me interest tax-free. So he's not coming for anything. If anything, I'm part of the government.
Correct.
Yeah.
And funny thing, people don't know this, but I have a feeling, and I may not be corrected. I don't know. I stand to be corrected, but I have a feeling those loans that they take, the returns that they're giving us that are speculated to be too high, are still much cheaper than the external borrowing.
Of course.
So to me, I don't perceive them as too high.
Yeah.
Because whatever the trade-off between local borrowing and the external one, there's still a delta. There's still a huge difference. I mean, the government should be saving money, I believe, from borrowing locally than it is from from borrowing from outside.
But it just goes from inside, they can't borrow as much as what World Bank would give them.
True.
And, you know, like the quantity that they're going for, like when you're talking to IMF, it's
much larger.
Much larger. And then payment process, of course, spread out in like years, even after the president is or is not in the seat.
Correct.
So you have to understand understand how the government works. And I'm not saying like it's a hack, but it's something that can work in your favor.
It does. I would recommend that to working parents too.
Yeah.
That could be used for school fees, by the way.
Yeah.
That's I remembered my colleague mentioning that. You can use that as a
and even understand, this is just a side, because if you have the EduCure strategy that I told you about as well, that still takes care of school fees.
Correct.
And now you have dividends that are coming every month.
Coupons.
So now this means even in a month, if you're not doing a regular 8 to 5, or if you're doing a regular 8 to 5, like you have a lot of cash flow that will leave you in a position where even if, let's say, you get fired, for people who are doing like 8 to 5, it does not leave you in a very shaky place, because there are people who, if you get fired,
you're done.
That's
true.
Like stress, depression, you're moving to shags. Hey, first of all, your wife will leave you. She will leave you.
Oh,
Don't believe.
They will.
Not so many will stay there. Not so many will stay there.
Me, I'm for the wife will not leave you.
Do you really think if a pilot...
Why is the male gender so negative?
Do you really think if a pilot gets fired with a lifestyle that he's already used to and providing for girlfriend or wife and children, that wife will stay?
Another job. Yes. Why should she leave her
pilot?
Let's
just assume.
He'll
listen.
go to Emirates or Qatar.
No. Things don't work out like that always. Well, you can get another job, but let's just be honest, like how life throws curveballs at you. And just why do you think, like even right now, what's the biggest reason for high divorce rate right now?
Yeah, true.
Tell me it's not money.
Oh, yes. Actually, money is more sensitive than even cheating. Guys.
Listen.
Cheating, you can forgive cheating.
If that guy is providing, like, you have, like, your car is getting serviced, fuel.
You'll forgive cheating.
And
you will.
Kids are in, like, the best schools you can think of and everything.
That is true.
Tell me if cheating will matter in this case.
Cheating will be forgiven. That is true.
It will be forgiven. And even for you, you'll be like, you know what? That's just, But I'm telling you. You don't have that money. Don't have that money. And then you see how
fast.
And even I don't even know if it's just how society has changed now, but I just don't think it will be able to work. She will leave you. I think so.
Not all women will leave.
I mean, I don't know your situation, but would you stay or would you leave?
It depends.
I've met so many different women in my life, and I think they would leave.
Maybe the housewife.
Yeah.
Maybe if maybe she was a housewife.
No, even if she's working.
But me, if I'm working, I'll ride for my man until he doesn't have.
No. We all know this.
Okay, but
your money is your money.
I'll ride for
my money is our money.
For 3 to 6 months. After 6
months, things will be like,
I'll panic.
Yeah, like this guy by the. Because now you have to also understand, because we're talking about your future.
Yes.
If let's say for a year I'm down, because I've been in situations where I was like down, right?
It's possible.
And I'm always telling people like, hey, but maybe your down is not the same as. I'm like, no. Listen.
Down is down.
Down is down. When you're waking up and you're not sure how you'll be able to pay rent next month, or how you can be able to buy food and all those things, that means you're down, by the way.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
And people maybe you had like, you're having a good time with, you're looking at the phone, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Nobody's even calling me anymore. Money is so, like the importance of budgeting. I don't know how people can understand this, but trust me, maybe when you're at your age, when you're young and you're having fun with friends, you don't want to think about it. You're like, no, I'm just having my fun. But in Europe, how old do people start working? At what age do people start working in Europe?
They start actually
16?
They
15,
start early.
16?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you pick a 16-year-old in Europe and pick a 16-year-old in Kenya, mindset, money.
Very different, yeah.
If you pick a 20-year-old in Kenya, a 20-year-old in Europe, their thinking is completely different. But I think that's also environment and parenting as well.
Yes.
Because you can teach your kids these things early. Somalis do teach their kids about business at a very early age.
Indians
do that as well.
Chinese.
So we can't just keep playing this game where we're like, no, I'm still, because I know people are like 22, 23, 24, and I'm looking at them like, man, life is going to punish you so horribly, but it's because your parents didn't just take time to teach you that, by the way, you need to grow up a little bit early. Just know how these things are done this way and this way.
Yeah. I think one of the greatest regrets maybe for the younger people is if you remember once upon a time you had that money and you squandered it. Yeah. I think not having it is easier. Saying, like for us who grew, like if our ladder was like this, so you knew you started here at the bottom, so you didn't really have the money to invest and But for the now generation where you do have,
there's information everywhere.
Yes, you have the leeway to make that money. You have the possibility to be fairly comfortable at a very young age, and you decide to squander the opportunity. I think it's much more painful. Like,
I think in the next 10 years we'll see the results of that, and it won't be. I mean, if you're a therapist, you'll make a lot of money. You'll make a lot of money. I think so, and it will all be. Because, like, even think about it, like the biggest cause of depression right now in Gen Z and young people is just stressed about money. Anybody, if you ask them about something, it's like, I'm not where I want to be.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. They're always like, that's the biggest. I've seen Nani going to this place. I've seen Nani shopping and doing this. That's the only biggest thing that stresses them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, strategy. Like, play the long game. This person is doing this now. But what about 10 years from now?
It's true. It's true.
We'll be able to go for vacation.
And contentment as well. Being comfortable with what you have. I think we take that for granted. Just being like, you know what? I mean, I have a roof over my head.
Good health.
Yes, I have good health. I have, family. I have a support system. Some of these things we take for granted, but sometimes it's enough to keep you sober. Like, it's enough to keep you in a place to just strive for more. Yeah. And we didn't even talk about personal development. I think that's also
we have
something.
We have time.
I think that's something
before
we
the
should
second
invest.
guest sends me a message. Hey, we are rolling.
I think personal development is also something people should really invest in. Like, it's not always just about investing money. Invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Invest in a new skill. Invest in even this information about investing. Invest in a personal finance coach. Invest in getting to get into these rooms where, to better your situation, learn more, improve. And the irony of it in Kenya especially is a lot of the times when you have these opportunities, it's women wamejaa in a session.
A lot.
I never see men. Never, like, most
Actually,
of the events I've had or attended, wanawake, they grab opportunities like those, like this.
Yeah.
And age is not even a factor. Like, from young women to older women are the first to always grasp at developmental opportunities, whether it's, now or for the future. But men.
How many men content creators talk about finances?
In Kenya?
That you know of?
In Kenya, none.
Okay, women?
Most of them are women. Yeah, most of my mutuals.
But that's what I'm saying. You see, but I think also, like, it's something that I think maybe a lot, even what I've noticed with a lot of men, when you try and have a conversation about money, someone's like, no, you're trying to, like, but I'm like, no, you have to talk about money.
Yes.
You have to make it like something that we can just be having a drink. It's like, hey, by the way, have you thought about like this, Nini? Mm-hmm. How do you pull off to make this X amount of money? Like, if I can't have that conversation with you, like, honestly speaking, for the people who know me, they know I'll be there for a few minutes and I have to bounce.
Really?
Yeah, I have to. Because if we can't, because that means, like, you can't even build me with the most basic conversation. Because I can build you. Because me, for a fact, I know I'll build you. If we're having a conversation about money, I'll build you.
So you feel like it will be a one-directional relationship?
Yes, it's going to be like, which for most of the time, to me, it's always been one-directional.
Which is a conversation. That's a whole other issue
to unpack. That's a whole other conversation for
because I also have thoughts on that.
Yeah. Because at a certain point when you're doing certain things, I think even for you, like, when you change, like, or level up in some way, you have to understand you leave some people behind.
It's sad. It's a sad reality. That's
and true. Some people might be upset, feel like, how could you do this to them? But I'm like, I have to win. You guys can join me, but I have to win first before you join me, because the whole purpose, like, if I'm in this situation, I'm able to boost you. If you come and overtake me, you're able to boost me. But somebody has to be.
We must be.
Yeah, we can't just all be seated
in a direction.
Not just that's ascending, though. Yeah. Not just in a direction, but it has to be ascending somehow. Or even if it's not that way, like, even with information, provide information. Because if we're just chilling, we're drinking, we're having fun, but we can't talk about how to better our lives. If you have a kid, on how, like, hey, by the way, have you thought of doing this? It can boost, like, your kid. You don't have to think about this. It can take care of this. If I can't have that conversation with you, and I'm not something in future I want to have a family, I mean, come on, man.
But people hide a lot of information.
A lot.
People hide a lot. Like, good deals, people kanyagia sana. They never share. And that's why it's strange that now when we came up, like the personal finance coaches and budgeting people, people who are open about money, it picked up so fast because people hide. Yeah. Like, even the bills and bonds thing has been happening for the longest time. But only such a small portion of Kenyans knew about it and had access to.
For the longest time.
It's
Government bonds have always been there.
They've been there for the longest time. But I have a question for you. But do the same rules apply to women?
How? Wait. Hold
to
on.
the new women that are becoming a part of your life, do you also apply the same rules? For if they do not build you, you do not engage.
It's very unfortunate, but... and I even think the ones who exist and talk... No, listen, let me tell you something. The ones who talk about money, it's the ones that I see online. The others, I don't think I've... And not in a bad way, of course.
Like the women in your life, a lot of
women,
friends or otherwise?
I might not keep them around for a long time. Or I can just, like, because here's the thing also. You also have to understand how human beings are. Because now I can't say, like, I'm not talking to anyone at all if you're not talking about money. No.
No, but generally, like,
but I'll know.
If they're not in a space where they're building you, or you feel like, this one is a bit...
I might need to cut them off.
As well?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's because, like, right now I'm in a trajectory where I think I just need to focus a bit more. So that, like, if I secure everything, I don't want to say that I want everything to be perfect. But, like, when you're already on the track and things are like, I'm using this strategy, it's working out for me. This is working out for me. And then when other people are coming in, it's like, they're disrupting everything, like my plans,
That is
my
true.
finances, my nini. Like, as much as you like the person, honestly speaking.
Yes, you don't need disruptors. That is true.
As much, and you also have to understand how humans operate. And maybe even at times it's not intentional, but you will notice when you have that momentum and somebody doesn't understand why you're so focused on that momentum. In general, how a human being would be, they would be like, yo, why are you always working all the time? Why are you so focused on this? Why don't you want to have fun? I'm like, yo, you can have fun now, but what about in the future?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to still be able to take my trips somewhere. I want to be able to afford payments for this and that. But if we're not focusing on like future, even not future like 10, 20 years, like even the next 3 or 5 years, you don't want to grow in any way.
That is true.
Oh, you want to tell me you don't know people who like you just chill with and they do not have like any sense of like conversation about like at all. I'm like,
yeah, that is true.
I'm like, this is very interesting. Like you don't care about like anything at all.
You live for now and now
I'm just
only.
like, me, I'm okay. I'm like, what about 5 years? Like even simple things like even eating. Even just how somebody eats food around me. I pay attention to that.
Like people need to be mindful of how they take care of their body.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you're not,
I've had that many times.
just think about it. Even if you're not, and let's say I'm planning to have you as a partner in future.
Yeah.
I know what this is coming. High blood pressure, cholesterol problems, health-wise. When it comes to a point where you're supposed to have a kid, it's gonna bring complications. Even if you're on a drinking spree in your 20s, and maybe you're planning to have a kid probably maybe in your late 20s, it's gonna affect you. You know that.
And your future. That's
it's gonna
true.
affect you medical-wise. You can't be able to deliver like a kid just in general, just the normal way, whether even if it's a C-section, you will still have like other complications because your body has been beat down with all these drugs. Because now guys are doing drugs now. I don't know whether you know people how much drugs.
Oh, they are?
What?
No, me, I'm a gam.
What?
I live in a bubble.
What? People are drinking like crazy. Like even the stats I posted, like I think they're on Citizen. People are drinking like crazy right now.
But it could be also mental, like depression, or it's just for fun.
But like we said, where's the pressure? And ask any young person who will say they're going through depression and stuff. It still narrows back down to
Money.
not money.
Yeah, it does.
Money.
It all comes out.
But you
money.
have to work to make that money.
Yeah.
Most people who say that are not really willing to put in the work.
To put in the work.
Yeah. Because trust me, if you're waking up in the morning and working or just trying to figure it out, because you have to try to figure it out. It's the
Correct.
only way it can.
It can come, yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise you can't just be chilling saying like, I'm special. I think something special is going to happen to me. What are the chances? What are the chances of that happening?
That is true. Okay, there are people who get like boosted.
Yeah.
That's the reality, but not everyone,
Not everyone.
is going
The percentage
to get
wise.
boosted. It's very few people who get boosted.
Yeah.
Very low proportion of people.
Percentage-wise, it's very tricky. So
Yeah.
when it comes to money, even like just I'm sure career-wise, whether if it's the engineering thing or whatever, people work every year and then slowly, like every year, your credentials grow higher.
Correct.
Even the pilots, you get different stripes. You keep on like just ascending like in, like ranks, your salary keeps increasing. Your mental, like just well-being is also like kind of like growing, kind of. You understand how to deal with different strategies. The same way you would deal with a salary of 30,000, let me not say 50,000. And people are like, just because you said, Let's say you have a 30,000 salary. And this is what people don't understand, how about money is so dangerous as well. Do you think somebody who's used to dealing with 30,000 salary, and then after 6 months you tell them, I've given you a promotion, you're getting 1 million shillings per month. What do you think is going to do to that person?
Oh, yes. I've heard of those cases as well. Yes, because money both ways can be bad. If you also get a huge boost, yes.
Yeah.
It can be.
Doesn't mess up with your head. You won't even.
Exactly.
And even the thing is, like, most people say they want money, right? I've had these conversations also on the podcast. A lot of time, or even times when we're just brainstorming, I'm like, okay, like, what's a lot of money to you that you'd want, like, let's say today? Somebody would be like, 5 mil or 10 mil. I'm like, okay, sawa. Just picture this. Somebody gives you 10 million today.
Today, yeah.
What do you do with it? You'll be shocked with the answers.
That is true.
Yeah, you'll be shocked with the answers.
That is true.
Most people won't know what they're supposed to do with that money.
Yes.
You wanted it, but okay, sawa, huh?
Now,
you want to
now
travel.
what?
Okay, now you're traveling, and then
yeah, that is true.
Basically, most people will squander all that money and
They
go back
will.
to zero.
That is true.
They'll go to zero.
Actually, that's why most lottery winners squander money.
Go broke or die. They go broke
That is true.
or die.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So money is something you might wish for, but also understand, like, what do you want money?
You must be ready for your blessing, guys.
You have to. Somebody will say, I
Yes.
want shoes. So you'll buy shoes and then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also the preparation is in the work as well. Just the same way you're saying,
Yeah.
as you're doing the work and in anticipation of whatever is coming, you also need to do the work in mentally preparing for what is coming. Because if you do believe in your heart that you're worth that, whatever you're manifesting, whatever you're working hard towards.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're working towards a 100 million shilling house. When that house comes, it doesn't become like, okay, echo, you're not in the empty house and you don't know mbele wala nyuma, like you don't know what's going to happen now. Yeah, you need to.
Most material things, once you get them, trust me, I don't think, does it mean, I'm just asking for you maybe, something material-wise that you've always wanted and then you're in a position to buy it. Once you buy it, does it
Feels,
give you that fulfillment?
Actually, that's a good question. You only feel good briefly, then the emptiness comes back.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe I have mental issues, but sometimes it feels like you're trying to fill in a gap or a void that it doesn't really feel. Like it's weird. That is true.
It doesn't do much for you.
Yeah, it doesn't. You'll feel excited. Oh, you bought the car. Then the high wears off. By the next day, you're just like, okay.
Because even how you've said it, somebody says like, okay, what kind of house would you want? I'd want a 7-bedroom house, big compound, cars. Okay, life can give you that. And then what? It's
so anticlimactic.
Yeah. You know, if you're walking in a room where it has 10 bedrooms and you're alone in that house.
Exactly. That is true.
I don't think you understand what it comes with.
Yeah. So the point is, you prepare as well for the blessing.
Yeah.
It's not just about wanting it and desiring it. You need to prepare for it as well.
In terms of like things like crypto, because it's also something that's big in Europe. There's a lot of conversation around it. Like right now in Europe, financial institutions going into crypto. That's speculation where people are trying to, you have your Black Rocks having those conversations. What are your thoughts on crypto? Because I always touch on crypto as well.
Well, I did do crypto.
Okay.
I did buy some crypto, I think two years ago. Yeah, I had crypto for 2 years. And I'll be honest, I did make money. I did.
You did?
I did make money. But how I made money, let me be honest, I didn't buy once. I did it like shares. So there was a year crypto was crashing. Was it last year?
Yeah, just after COVID.
Yes.
Just after COVID, yeah.
Yes, it was crashing.
Yeah.
So when it crashed the first time I bought, then it crashed harder. I bought. So I just kept on buying every time it was crashing. Crashing. So what it meant was, eventually when it recovered, I had different recoveries.
I'm sure you've already tying
so it netted each other
2 or 3x a lot of your money.
Yes. So I didn't make exorbitantly a lot of money, but I did make money. It wasn't bad.
I think that's the craziest part, because even with that, I remember that time, I was telling a few people that I know, I was like, you need to buy. You need to get in.
Did you buy?
Of course.
Okay. Did you already sell? Or
you
still have
a bit. Like there's a portion, like even when we're talking about high risk like strategies, like I still have some crypto that I can play with.
Okay. I sold everything.
Everything.
I panicked because I was like, it really dropped, guys. Like, but it was thoroughly speculative at that time. It was because it didn't make sense.
So you're not holding any crypto now?
At the moment, I'm not, but it's recovered. Like the price.
So are you planning to buy?
No, I can't buy up. Yeah, now I can't buy because I sold it.
Now.
But then I have to wait for it to crash again and then I'll buy.
But if financial institutions get in, it's not going to crash to the amount that you
because
get
it crashed a lot.
Yes. I remember there's a time back I was like, yo.
It crashed a lot. I think my money was less than half. Me too.
And the thing is, like, you could see it going down.
Yes, and then every day you check again and it was crashing. Then I reduced my frequency to checking monthly. It was just crashing.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I sent you a screenshot of where I put my Uber,
Yeah.
but because I don't have Wi-Fi and
Should
I
I
don't have
check?
a Kenyan line yet, I didn't want to be stuck.
Should I check?
Yeah, check please.
But are you en route already or not yet?
Not yet, because I
Okay.
wanted you to give me the go-ahead so I can.
Okay, let me check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That's the second guest.
Oh, our man is busy today.
I was planning to do 3 today
Oh
and
my
3 on
gosh.
Friday, but we're still, let me check her message though. So as we were saying, what were we talking about? We was talking about crypto in general.
And this thing for banks. Okay, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know this thing for banks joining it. I think
Yeah.
I'll need to read up on it when I go back.
Yeah, you have to, I think.
But BlackRock is BlackRock.
But BlackRock is.
If you know BlackRock.
Yeah,
BlackRock
I mean.
is like the dirty money.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
No, but if BlackRock is having that discussion, because when we're talking about financial institutions, when you're putting your money into these investment institutions, like we said, you put your money for, is it mutual funds?
Yes.
But
ETFs.
they have to take your money and invest it somewhere so that they can give you a profit. So in general, right now, what people are doing is like, the institutions are having that discussion so that like they can include crypto in their clients' portfolios.
Okay.
Exactly. So now you can go to BlackRock and say like, you know what, I want this, but of course BlackRock deals with very big clients. I'm not saying you go to BlackRock, but financial institutions will be like, okay, now we can allocate this financial strategy. The same way you can go to a bank and they'll advise you like, hey, what are they called? The person in the bank who
Financial advisors or investment
relationship manager.
Oh yes, that
relationship manager. So they will just tell you exactly like, okay, there's also this opportunity here. If you want to put a little bit of cash here, we can actually do that for you with our expertise and systems and everything.
Okay. I didn't know they offer that in Kenya.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Have you seen the location? So
I've seen the location, but what I'm wondering is what to put in the Uber app.
Peaceville Heights. Put Peaceville Heights.
Peaceville. How do you spell that?
PECVINE.
Okay, it's the one that says Jupiter.
Yeah, it's close to it's actually opposite Jupiter Resort. You see the way I sent you. You remember how I sent you pictures on how you can see how you can get here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you use those pictures, you'll see exactly where it is.
Okay, no problem. So let me call it right now because it says it's 1 minute away.
Okay.
And then I'll be there shortly. So
Okay.
I'll call you with a strange number. I'll probably ask the Uber guy to give me his phone. I call you.
Okay.
I need to get my Kenyan line situation. But thanks for being so patient.
Okay, no worries, no stress.
And then random question.
Oh, hold on. Before you, why don't you type the question?
What question?
Because I'm recording the podcast right now, right?
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Is it something that you can say? Because I'm recording anyway. Yeah. What's the question?
What shoe size are you?
8.5. 8.5. You're buying me shoes.
You'll see. I'm seeing it soon.
Okay. Let's talk soon. Okay.
Wait, is that 8.5 US? It's which one? Because now
8.5 UK.
UK. What's that in the US? I'll Google it. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. These are friends I need in my life.
I know, right?
When was the last time somebody asked me about my shoe size?
I know.
Apart from the people that I meet in the store, it's like, okay, what's your size? I'm already stressed even though I'm buying the shoe. I'm like,
You're choosing the wrong girls.
Can you imagine?
You are choosing very wrong.
Listen, the struggles in Kenya, we won't even, that's like just a long ass story. When we get to like finances and dating, relationships, that's like a whole like episode on its own.
I know.
And now, like as we are winding
down now.
Yeah, because I can see we are close actually to like 2 hours.
Yeah. No, but
So
we've done a good job.
We've done like a lot, right?
We've covered a lot, yes.
And that's why I was saying like also like I don't want to give away a lot of the things that you do online because
coaching,
like people are still supposed to come and actually do consultation. You're supposed to do your consultancy work as well.
Yes.
So if we do everything like, and we put everything out, I mean, we won't be saving anything for people to come and pay for, right?
No, but I did share everything you can also find online as yourself if you do the research.
Yeah.
And of course, I will plug myself. So basically, when you come to the coaching sessions, for example, we will be now looking at individual financial plans for yourself. We'll be looking at your financial income streams, like how your cash flow is looking at the moment, your current expenses, and then we'll look at any improvement areas we need to make for you. And then we make a plan within 3-month gaps. So I use a quarter to measure.
Yeah.
So right now, if I'm having clients we're making for Q1 2024, we create a plan. And then after that, we do review it in 3 months or at the end of the quarter if you do need changes. But most times, if your circumstances have not changed, then you just continue with the same financial plan.
Sure.
Yeah. Then, of course, we can always talk about investments, any funds or any opportunities that you may want to venture into. But with investments, also, I'm very careful. I only share what I personally use. For example, now, what he's shared with me,
Crypto.
I will share
Yeah.
his feedback with other people. Like what if I hear and find out from people, but I can't really come and tell somebody, okay, put your money there.
No.
I don't do that.
But-
So don't expect me to do
But
that.
also, like with crypto, like what I would like, I'll let you get back to that by the.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, the crypto, you can continue advising us.
Yeah,
Please,
with
go
crypto,
ahead.
all I was saying is like you can go to just like CNBC. When you go to like CNBC, you'll
Yes,
see
I
them
watch
having a
CNBC.
conversation about crypto every single day.
Which app are you using? Binance?
No, for buying crypto,
Right now from Kenya, are you using
Binance, yeah.
Okay.
Plus, here's
I
the
thought
thing.
Binance had an issue a couple of...
Yeah, that's what people say. The
But-
CEO
but
was
it
fired,
resolved?
but
Why was it resolved? Were people able to withdraw money again?
no, that was Binance US, not Binance Kenya.
Also, there was no issue with withdrawing
No,
funds.
that was Binance US, not Binance Kenya.
It's not the same company.
No, it sees the same company, but they have like a different like department for like just US, and then for like the other countries, there's also like one allocated that's actually taking care of all. But it's because US they have like regulations and policies. Like even in Europe, you can't just go there and start
No,
like
you
a
can't.
company.
You
But in Kenya, you can come and
do whatever. Also,
Even-
they have local presence. Binance.
they do like always have like activations and
yes.
stuff, but I don't think a lot of people understand how crypto is still working because there's a very small portion of people who pay attention to it.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's not just here, like even like overseas, like a lot of people are still like these people are saying like worldwide it's probably like 10% or less people who are like very interested. But now in the 10%, we're including like institutions like BlackRock. Would Invest, JP Morgan.
JP.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Even like now on your phone, just type JP Morgan and cryptocurrencies, something's going to pop up.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will.
they are looking
I
to it
will.
because like all these institutions, nobody wants to get in when it's too late.
Indeed.
Nobody
I
wants
mean,
to
when
get in
it's
too
late,
late.
you're not gonna.
Yeah,
you're not gonna
you'll be
make
missing
money.
out. And then now when you have countries like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, having those discussions, you know what they're doing.
Then okay.
Yeah, because if they get in, probably US will be buying from them because they'll get in and they'll buy everything. Same way they're buying like all sports people, all big people. Just
They have cash flow. They
Yeah,
have
the
money.
cash-
They're liquid.
the cash flow is there,
Yes.
so they can. You don't want to